Hello, America. Welcome to another presentation of Under the Microscope. Today, I want us to take a closer look at the transgender war that is taking place in America. And yes, it is war. No one, except someone who has been there, can decide the fate of a transgender person. All of the liars who imagine themselves to be judge and jury are fools, to say the least. We seem to be so stuck on the sin of homosexuality that we cannot see that there is a distinct difference. A homosexual and a transgender person are indeed different. Yes, I said person, because that's who a transgender person is, a person. Homosexuals lust for the fulfillment of sexual desires with people of their same gender. That, according to the word of God, is sin. A transgender person has something medically, quote, off center, by no fault of their own, that presses them to be a person that does not look like their, quote, supposed gender. Their body chemistry, their emotional and mental gauges are all out of whack. I do not believe that any individual, quote, chooses this dilemma for himself or herself. It's insane to suggest that a person would choose to be tortured in such fashion. I believe in God, and I know that He wants us to love each other in a way that each of us can embrace individuals and their dilemmas that we do not understand or even agree with, and let God do the judging. There is but one judge and one lawgiver, and none of us is qualified to fill his shoes. God's people are peacemakers, and I would rather err on the side of righteousness any day, as opposed to attempting to impose my, quote, popular perception of righteousness upon those who need mercy instead of condemnation. People are born every day with various abnormalities, cleft palates, crossed eyes, malformed limbs, to name a few. Who is to say what caused those things? No one can judge but God. We say little or nothing when such malfunctions as were just listed are surgically corrected, generally because we have, quote, decided that these types of medical corrections are, quote, acceptable, but others are not. Transgender persons nor homosexuals should be the object of our hatred and religious bigotry, but our concern and our compassion. Remember, the same concern and compassion that God showed us when we, quote, sinned willingly, but based on our actions, it is quite clear that some of us have never sinned and are now living completely without sin, even though we lie, steal, kill, engage in usury, manipulation, fornication, whoredoms of all sorts, to name just a few. I strongly recommend that we all read and study Romans chapter 1 and allow the Lord to show us that He hates all sin, all sin. That's why Jesus told the stoning brigade in John 8:7, let him who is without sin cast the first stone at the woman who had been caught in adultery. It's very interesting that she was brought to Jesus after being caught in the act, but they didn't bring the man who was supposedly with her. If she had been in the act by herself, could that be so? Hypocrisy makes such fools of willing fools. Jesus did not condemn that woman, but told her to go and sin no more. That's what love and mercy look like, even when we voluntarily do the wrong thing. Then there are conditions that are put upon us that we did not choose and did nothing wrong to be the quote object of punishment at the hands of self-righteous biblical bastards who have appointed themselves judge and jury to promote their own evil and sick agendas. Consider the blind man in John chapter 9. When Jesus and his disciples encountered this man, the disciples asked Jesus, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Jesus answered and said, neither this man nor his parents sinned, but his blindness was put upon him that God might be glorified. Jesus then spat on the ground and made a paste and put the paste on the blind man's eyes and told him to go wash in the pool of Siloam. He did so and received his sight. The self-righteous bigots tried to find fault in Jesus for healing the man on, quote, the wrong day. They seemed to be irate because they would no longer be able to look down on this man. Go figure. People who enjoy targeting others, no matter what their situation, right or wrong, may be, they do not know God. These are the despicable liars who are simply trying to hide their own filthy sins. Be warned, if you think that God is so dumb and stupid that he is not aware of what you are doing, you had better think again. Just another Mackian observation. Thanks for listening. Follow me on YouTube at Mac McRae, Under the Macroscope. Please subscribe and share, and if you wish, you can make a contribution of your choosing by using the QR code on the screen. You may also write to me at Mac McRae, P.O. Box 403, Pineville, North Carolina, 28134. See you next time, and remember, under the macroscope, we take a closer look.